At the 2022 G20 summit in Indonesia, a video of Xi Jinping scolding Justin Trudeau went viral.
Everything we discuss is leaked to the paper, that's not a problem. And that's not how the way the conversation was conducted.
Trudeau had leaked confidential conversations to the media. Fast forward to 2023, and history repeats itself in India at the G20 summit, as Trudeau is seen being scolded by Joe Biden. Reports indicate that Trudeau was reprimanded by the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi for allegedly aiding anti-India separatist movements. The humiliation seems to have affected Trudeau deeply, as he did not attend any of the G20 summit dinners. Even Canadian news outlets and opposition leaders mocked Justin Trudeau as he was snubbed at the G20 summit. However, to understand the reason for Narendra Modi's treatment of Trudeau, we will have to rewind back to 2020. This occurred during a period of significant protests in India in response to changes in farming laws. Justin Trudeau publicly voiced his full support for the protesting farmers.
The news coming out of India about the protests by farmers. The situation is concerning, and we're all very worried about family and friends. I know that's the reality for many of you. Let me remind you, Canada will always be there to defend the right of peaceful protest. We believe in the importance of dialogue.
However, understandably, this stance was viewed by the Indian government as an attack on their sovereignty. The Canadian Prime Minister has a history of supporting a terrorist group known as the Khalistanis. The Khalistanis are a separatist group with members primarily in the USA, Canada, Australia, the UK, but especially Canada. Their main demand is the creation of a separate country in Punjab, which is located in India. The reason Trudeau supports the Khalistani movement is to secure a large voter base in Canada. The Liberal Party did not secure a clear majority in the last elections and had to form a coalition with the NDP. Supporting Khalistan not only guarantees a certain number of votes, but also ensures NDP support for the Liberal Party. This is because the leader of the NDP, Jagmeet Singh, is known to have deep Khalistani ties. This would mean the treatment of Justin Trudeau at the G20 summit was deserved. Understandably, Justin Trudeau was not pleased with the way he was treated. After arriving back in Canada, he made an extremely controversial statement.
This number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
Following this incident, the Canadian government expelled an Indian diplomat. However, India denied all charges and called the accusations baseless and politically motivated. In retaliation, India expelled a Canadian diplomat, issued a travel advisory against Canada, and banned the issuance of Indian visas to Canadian citizens. The relationship between India and Canada is now at an all-time low. This has led Justin Trudeau to seek support from the Five Eyes nations. However, no one was willing to support Canada due to India's rising geopolitical importance. Critics argue that it was extremely unprofessional for the Canadian Prime Minister to make such an accusation without any evidence. If it were true, some evidence should have been provided. So who is Hardeep Singh Nijjar? Hardeep Singh Nijjar immigrated to Canada with a fake passport in 1997 and attempted to claim refugee status. However, his request was denied. Afterward, Nijjar attempted to marry a Canadian citizen to gain citizenship, but this too was denied. According to Interpol's wanted list, Nijjar is identified as an Indian citizen, but Canadian officials claim otherwise. This entire situation appears to be the final blow to Indo-Canada relations. However, the question still arises. What if India was actually involved in the assassination of Hardeep? That would be an extreme attack on the sovereignty of Canada. However, critics argue that this is no different from the USA's assassination of Osama bin Laden on Pakistani soil, as Hardeep was also an internationally wanted criminal. The next unanswered question is why Justin Trudeau chose to make such a public statement without any evidence. There could be many reasons for this. Canada is currently grappling with a significant housing crisis, record high crime rates, rising inflation, and record high unemployment. Trudeau's approval ratings have plummeted, and he has become the subject of mockery in the media, the international community, as well as by the opposition. It is possible that this was a last-ditch effort to divert the public's attention away from these domestic domestic issues while also seeking to capture the votes and support of a certain group of people. Justin Trudeau's recent actions and statements have raised serious concerns about their impact on India-Canada relations. It appears that at times Trudeau may prioritize his personal political gain over the greater geopolitical stability in the region, which is detrimental to both countries and the broader international community. By making unfounded allegations and straining ties with India, Trudeau risks undermining a historically positive and cooperative relationship between the two nations. This approach not only hampers potential collaborations on economic, technological, and global challenges, but also threatens the vibrant Indian diaspora in Canada, which has been a significant contributor to the nation's multicultural fabric and economic growth. However, the one country that stands to benefit from this strained relationship is China. As India is increasingly seen as a crucial counterbalance to China's growing influence in Asia, Trudeau's actions could weaken the unity of nations aiming to deter Chinese expansionism. This could inadvertently create an opening for China to further its interests in the region, potentially undermining regional stability and security. In a world where cooperation and diplomacy are vital, it is imperative for leaders like Trudeau to prioritize the long-term interests of their nations and the global community over short-term political gains. Strained relations between India and Canada ultimately serve no one's interests but pose a significant risk to the global order and stability. In conclusion, the series of events surrounding Justin Trudeau's actions and statements have cast a shadow over India-Canada relations and raised serious questions about diplomatic wisdom and leadership. Trudeau's alleged prioritization of personal political gain over the greater geopolitical stability between these two nations has left both countries and the world at large in a precarious position. The strain in relations not only jeopardizes the potential for cooperation in areas such as trade, technology, and global challenges, but also threatens the bonds between the Canadian society and its vibrant Indian diaspora. Furthermore, the unintended beneficiary of this strained relationship appears to be China, as it seeks to expand its influence in Asia. The erosion of unity among nations countering Chinese expansionism could have profound implications for regional stability and global security. In a global landscape where cooperation, diplomacy, and international alliances are paramount, leaders must prioritize the long-term interests of their nations and the broader international community over short-term political gains. The strained relations between India and Canada serve as a stark reminder that the consequences of such actions extend far beyond domestic politics, ultimately impacting the stability of the global order. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insightful content on global affairs and diplomacy. Your support helps us continue bringing you in-depth analysis and commentary on important international issues.